Welcome everybody to today's 1 Million by 1 Million Strategy Roundtable. As you know, this is part of the 1 Million by 1 Million program, whose goal is to help 1 million entrepreneurs reach $1 million in annual revenue around the world, and sometimes beyond 1 million. We do have companies in the program who have already crossed 1 million. So the program is an education and incubation program, including business development, investor introductions, a lot of PR, media relations, analyst relations, and so forth. We do try to connect you with customers and channel partners and anything that is going to help you get to the next level of value creation within your venture. And value creation typically amounts to valuation creation as well. So in this session, we're going to be working with 3 entrepreneurs, and I'm going to spend some time discussing the 1 Million by 1 Million program and the details of the offering in a lot more detail. I know there are a bunch of you in the room who are considering becoming premium members of the 1 Million by 1 Million program. We will spend time taking questions and answering, clarifying your questions and issues. And this roundtable is being recorded, and we will make the recording available later, so you can both share the recording with other people, as well as if something has been discussed that you want to revisit and just kind of review by listening to the recording, you would be able to do that. The recordings get an enormous amount of viewership, by the way, through the week that we, when we publish it after the roundtables, and we link to it through all our syndicated columns. I write a syndicated column that's right after this session that basically recaps this session. So the recording is very widely, syndicated and viewed. So if you are on Twitter and if you are interested in live tweeting the session today, please use the hashtag 1M1M, and we are tweeting the show from @1M by 1M, and Maureen will try to retweet your tweets. If you attach hashtag 1M1M or @1M by 1M to your tweets during the session, Maureen will try to identify them and retweet them during the show as well. So the first presenter today is Vikrant Mathur, based in Menlo Park, California, which is where I'm based. So Vikrant, if you could unmute your line, pressing *6, and come and tell us what iFood TV is all about.
Thank you, Sramana. Thank you for the opportunity. Good morning, everybody.
Vikrant, your line is very low. We need a bit more volume from your side.
Sure. Is this better?
Much better.
Great.
Please go ahead.
Thank you. Good morning, everybody. My name is Vikrant Mathur. I'm the co-founder of iFood.tv, the premier destination for food and cooking-related video content. We've been around for about 3 years and are based in Menlo Park, California. So iFood.tv started as a hobby. I and my co-founder, we were trying to learn how to cook and ran into a variety of problems with some of the other text-based recipe websites. And this was about 4 years ago, when YouTube wasn't quite as popular as it is now, and online video wasn't quite as popular as it is now. So we wanted to bring Food Network online. We wanted to have an on-demand platform that people could access whenever they wanted to get access to video-based cooking content. And so that's kind of how we started. And over the last 3 years, we realized that there's an unmet need in the marketplace. And so we tend to think of it as serving the needs of 3 distinct groups that I've highlighted here. The first group being the consumers. These are people like me who are looking for video-based food and recipes-related content and currently don't have a place to go to.
Mm-hmm.
The second group is video producers. These are people who have mainstream television background and are looking at the internet as another distribution outlet for their content. Professional chefs, cookbook authors, PR firms who are trying to promote their restaurants, their clients, and would like to leverage the internet as a distribution and monetization tool, but they don't know anything about SEO. They don't know anything about internet marketing. And so they end up going to places like YouTube and some of the other video sharing sites and uploading their content without really getting the audience that they want to target or being able to realize the monetization potential of their content.
Mm-hmm.
And then the third group is the brands. Increasingly, brands are looking for their audiences and trying to connect with them in more social ways. Display and banner advertising has been the traditional way of building a brand, but now they're trying to include social components, conversations, whether it be through blogs, videos, and whatnot, in their campaigns. And so what we're trying to do with them is work with them and try and provide them with niche audience that they're looking for and incorporate more social components into the campaigns that they may be looking for.
Mm-hmm.
Next slide, please. So to meet the needs of these three groups, what we've done is on the consumer side, we've created and aggregated a lot of content. So we've partnered with over 200 video producers, professional chefs, media companies to acquire content that they're producing, and we help them distribute and monetize it online.
Mm-hmm.
As a result of that, we have aggregated over 40,000 videos that you can now access through iFood.tv, and I can pretty much guarantee that almost about anything and everything that you're looking for, you would hopefully find a video for it.
Mm-hmm.
On the brand side, what we're trying to do is we're trying to incorporate, like I said, more social elements into the campaigns. And so for a brand like Kraft or Whole Foods, who may be launching new products and campaigns, we reach out to our partners and try and think about how we could complement their traditional campaigns with social media and blogs and videos and help them get conversations going.
Mm-hmm.
That's that. Next slide, please.
So let me get a few clarifications here before we move to the next slide. So when you say you've aggregated content, does that mean that you have gone in and curated all the videos out of YouTube that have to do with food and cooking and brought them onto your channel, onto your network and so forth? Or is this all original content that chefs and cookbook authors are loading onto your site?
Some of it is original content. A lot of it is content that you can also find on other platforms.
So it's curation.
And so what we've done is, absolutely. So what we've done is we partnered with them and then brought all of this to one place that would be easy to find, easy to search, and easy to navigate.
So
all of this content is managed by us. So it's hosted on our servers. It's streamed by us. We have complete control over it. We can insert advertisements. We can edit it to a certain level and play around with the files as you wish.
Okay. So essentially, there is content on your server. There's content on YouTube and elsewhere on the web. All of it has been curated into one channel. This YouTube content is embedded on your site and so forth. Yes.
No, the YouTube content is not embedded. So all the videos that I'm talking about, they're all hosted by us. So we get the original files from the producers and then we put them on our servers.
So when you find something on YouTube, you contact the producers and get them to upload the files on your server.
Absolutely. And we have a team that can help them do that if they don't want to do it themselves.
Okay. And are you running these brand campaigns already?
Yes, we are. So we've done tons of display campaigns for companies, but now in the last, I would say, 6 months, we are increasingly incorporating more social components into these campaigns.
And what kind of, in the brand campaigns, what kind of rates do you see?
It depends on the campaign. It depends on the targeting that the advertiser wants. Depends on the volume that they want, how much they want the videos to be promoted. We have a network of, like I said, partners who they all have their own Facebook fan pages and YouTube accounts and Twitter accounts. So we can potentially bring all of that into the mix. So again, depending on the needs of the advertiser, it can range.
Okay, let me let you finish your presentation, and then I have some more questions, but keep going.
Sure. So just to elaborate on some of the points that we were talking about, on the content side, we partnered with professional chefs, video producers, PR firms, media companies, cookbook authors to acquire the content. And you can, if you want, go to the site and upload your own videos if you want to share it with the community. But all the videos are manually reviewed and edited by our writers. So if you upload a video of you playing tennis with your buddy, we would likely take it down because it doesn't relate to food. In terms of traffic, we've grown to be one of the bigger sites in the food space. Over the last 12 years, we did close to about 3 million uniques a month on an average. And this traffic is coming from a variety of channels. This traffic is coming in direct, where a lot of people have bookmarked our sites or remember our site and thus get to it directly. Social media is the channel that's growing for us. Partner sites, like I said, we have a lot of partners who are providing us content. And so they would promote us when they're part of campaigns and even otherwise. And then, of course, SEO is one of the bigger channels that we're leveraging.
Okay.
On the monetization side, we work with ad networks as well as we also sell directly. Majority of our campaigns come from ad networks right now, and we work with a variety of them. But we are looking to strengthen.
Which ad networks have the best inventory of ads for your type of audience?
Glam is probably the dominant network, I would say, in this space.
That's what I was thinking. Okay.
Right. But we are looking to build our own ad sales force and strengthen our direct sales efforts because we feel that the margins would be much higher if we sold directly.
But the costs are also going to be much higher, huh?
That's right. That's right. But I think from an ROI standpoint, you would still be able to make more money if you sold directly.
What is the level of monetization of your site today?
We are profitable. We are, in terms of revenue numbers, I wouldn't want to disclose the revenue numbers in public, but we have very healthy margins and we're profitable.
You need to give me some indication because the question you're asking, the answer to that would be very different based on revenue levels. If you're a $20 million company, the revenue level, the answer to this question is going to be very different than if you're a $200,000 company, right?
Sure. So we're not a $30 million company. We would love to be, but we're not there yet. I would say we're over $1 million, if that helps.
Okay. And what do you think is the TAM of your business?
So food is a huge market, and the best out is that the content has a very long shelf life, and so all the content that we've created and curated, it can potentially be used all across the world. A chicken masala recipe is almost as applicable here as it is in Europe, as it is in Asia.
Yeah.
Not to say that you can't have variations, but the core recipe can still. So essentially, it's just a matter of targeting. If we have to expand, it's a matter of targeting international audiences, different languages, reformatting the videos a little bit to support multiple languages. But I would say billions of dollars of advertising money goes into this segment, not just in the U.S., but all across the world.
Have you had conversations with GLAM around these kinds of the question you're asking about strategic investment? GLAM has raised a huge amount of money, and they seem to be one of the most aligned people to your business. Have you had conversations with them?
We've had some very high-level, very preliminary conversations, and they haven't been around strategic investments. They've been more around strategic projects that we could do together.
Mm-hmm. So, my response to your question about getting an investment bank to do a strategic deal for a company that is in the $1 million range, I don't believe in doing that. I think you're going to need to raise money directly.
Okay.
So,
and what would be the best way of approaching some of these people, especially people that he's working with?
No, you just go and talk to them. You explain to them what you're doing, and if you're a substantial revenue generator for GLAM, and if this is a substantial part of GLAM's interest, this should make a lot of sense for them to invest in you. They do have money, and to me it sounds like GLAM would be the best strategic investor. Conceivably, there are other people from the media side that could be good investors. The television channels and media companies. So those are the places where I would go. But you're going to have to go and talk to them directly, just like you would raise a VC round, make a list of strategic investors that you want to approach, get yourself introduced to some of the right people, and just do exactly the way you would raise a VC round.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Okay, Kevin, you are next. Would you please unmute your line and come and tell us what Parting Out is all about?
Okay. Can you hear me fine?
Yes, I can hear you fine.
Okay. Parting Out is an online salvage marketplace. It's basically just realized from my experience that there's just a tremendous amount of parts that don't get sold, and a lot of that is based on just the exchange method and many of the online venues. So just years of frustration of using other sites and having a large auto salvage facility and just a lot of things going unsold. I just began to try to figure out how to make something better and used other sites, and they weren't really geared for this market, and so I just started to put something together, and the more I got into it, the more the cost just continued to go up, and realized to go and do all the things that I think are really needed and required to step above what's out there, being that there's some pretty deep pockets up ahead of me. Realized that to build something like that just to move my parts is, would definitely be wrong. So kind of went back to the drawing board and kept building and building until I feel like I have something that's pretty much ready to test the market with. And so I just built it to where anyone, anywhere can put, where they have a part or a whole car or thousands of cars like I do, they're able to list them very easily and not a lot of upfront cost or really no upfront cost, and just put that together to where I think it just fills a pretty good need. The slide you see there, the frustration in the marketplace, there's a lot of there is a tremendous amount of parts that go unsold, even in my yard. And the reason is the way the market's set up, a lot of times it's just unprofitable to actually sell them. because of the way, the environment that we work in. But if you just modify that environment and get things qualified right up front, you can make those sales. But you get it to where there's a little bit of give and take on both sides, because there's a lot of things that people want. They're willing to wait, or they're willing to buy in a different venue. And I just years of figuring that out and working in that area, I just tried to replicate that all through a web application and an online business, and that's also one of the reasons it's taken a pretty long time to put all this together.
So, Kevin, let me ask you a few very specific questions. What is the competitive landscape around this business? It sounds to me like something that must exist on the web, right? A marketplace for auto parts, it doesn't exist?
Oh, absolutely, it exists. It's as far as my competitors, I mean, number one is eBay, and then probably the next one is Craigslist, and then you have ADP Hollander. You have a lot of them, but those marketplaces are geared for based on interchange, and there's a slide difference between interchange and visual. And the way I found out that a lot of unsold parts. Let me back up here. In the salvage business, when you buy a piece of salvage, you buy it for 5 to 10, maybe 12 parts. People think you pick a car all the way to the ground. You do not. You buy that car, you're going to sell the top 10 or the top 20 or 15 parts. You figure that, that's what you buy it on, that's what you base it on, that's what you process, and then you're on to the next one. All right, that works then. That's a model for a big metropolitan area. Whenever you get kind of outside or an area that has a little more time, you can actually squeeze that car 1 or 2 more times and squeeze more money out of it. But to do that, you needed to change the environment to make it happen. The other sites that I listed aren't, some of them aren't specific to this market. Others are driven off the interchange. It's all about the top 10, which is correct. That's where 85% of the revenue comes from. But there is a huge amount of stuff that gets left on the side that's not getting sold. Case in point, someone wants something small. They want a sun visor. If you call my place, my salespeople are probably going to tell you no. But if you find it on Parting Out, I created a deal where you list the vehicle and you list those top 20 parts. But behind that, I created it to where that buyer can come in and actually take over that seller's listing, can actually go in and pick out the part from an assumption that if I say you have the car, or if you have one part, I have a pretty good assumption you have the other. Actually go in and list that part, make an offer on it, state the conditions, and put money on the table.
Okay.
We in the salvage business, we get really tired of people call us, and we're just like a yo-yo. If everyone that calls, we run and check on things. All we've done is yo-yoed back all day long. I don't have a qualified request. When you call me direct, I can qualify you. Where you are, what you are you a serious buyer? Can I afford to take part of my time and fill your request? So that sounds simple, but that gets a little complicated whenever you transfer that to the web.
Okay.
And that is how this site is designed.
So you're saying that the differentiation of your site is that you are providing a much deeper level of understanding of the aftermarket auto parts reselling and salvage business, where when you see there is a seller who's selling 1 or 2 or 5 parts, the buyer makes a guess that this seller probably has access to another 5 or 10 parts and starts engaging with the seller on those other parts, and you can make transactions happen.
That is correct. That sounds simple, but it's a little complicated.
No, I think it's very complicated. I have no illusion that this is simple, but let me ask you the question just to make sure that we're all on the same page. This particular differentiation that you just articulated, is anybody doing that piece of it?
No. And no. At this point, no.
Okay.
There is, now I will say I've taken a long time to put this together. There's no doubt some of the features that were, that I had, I've definitely seen the market kind of going in that direction. There's still a lot of things that I have developed and in development that are not replicated out there anywhere.
Okay.
But once I'm out there, I mean, gosh, aren't most things a copy of something else? So.
Okay, so
also go back to the deal slide.
This
the
one?
Deal flow. No, the one before, I believe, the deal. Yeah, right there. Another thing that I made different is in the salvage business, there's still a lot of, I want $100, okay, pay me. But there's also a big segment of it is done by negotiation. And there's a lot of people, whenever you tell them 100 and they go, okay, I'll get back. You know what a be back is. It's probably not coming back. So I've created the deal to where it's just there's a live negotiation going on. The minute you come in, you look for a part, you see it. As soon as you click on the part, you actually make me an offer on that part. And when you make that offer, everything you need to know follows that. You already know where I am, who I am, what I am. You know what my warranty is, my freight, the freight rate, and the policy. That stays right in front of you the whole time. As soon as I receive that offer, if I get it in real time, I can either accept it, it turns into an invoice, or I can counter it, deny it. You know, it's a negotiation back and forth.
Got it.
It's not a static site, and it's not a auction based.
Okay.
The buyer listed part is what I mentioned earlier. It's basically you see it, and you can make the assumption if you see something, you can make that assumption that it's probably available for sale. And if the seller knew you wanted it, he would have listed it. But instead of trying to guess and spend a lot of time, just make a creative enough ad that it draws people to you, and then sell the rest.
Okay. So just to close out on the comparative discussion, none of these people you list here does the level of depth or provides the level of depth that you're suggesting you would provide in your business.
None of these do any level like what I'm talking about. On the other hand, none of them have to, because these that we see, of course, the Craigslist is and probably Craigslist has as much stuff on it as eBay as far as automotive and parting things out. But it's more of you just throw it up there and call and back and forth, and there's not a deal flow or negotiation process. You know, probably everyone here has done something.
No, I think what you're talking about is a very interesting value proposition. I think you have some real subtle understanding of the aftermarket, salvage business in the car part industry, and I think you're pointing out some interesting opportunities here.
But to answer the question about the other because their focus is on the top 20 parts, which is 50 to 85% of the revenue. They don't need to be in this market, although I'd be surprised if they don't come along.
So 50 to 85% of the aftermarket car parts business is the top 20 parts, is it?
That is correct.
So what is the size of the other 15%?
All I could do was just make you a guess, but I can tell you from 30 years of doing this, I sometimes will crush 1,000 or 2,000 vehicles and leave hundreds and hundreds of parts on them that there's a market for, there's a need for. It's just getting the people on the same page.
So you're saying that the balance of the parts, there is no marketplace, or there's no efficient way to sell any of that. So that's the opportunity that you're zeroing on. So here's a question that I would like you to research: is what do you think if there were a market? You have to. So it's in the business that you're now trying to get into, in the internet business, in a business that is not so different actually from eBay, but it is very specifically for car part salvage. You need to assess what is going to be the total available market for that business.
Okay, let me answer that in one way. whenever we buy a vehicle, we gave $1,000 for a vehicle. We figure our top, we really buy it in our top 5 to 10 parts. You know, you can usually get up to 15 to 20 sold. On the end of that, you figure fluff, what you call is the unexpected sales, and that's the people that just walk into your door and buy something. That usually averages between $300 and $500 per car, and that's with absolutely no marketing of any way. That's just what falls in your lap.
Okay.
So
you're going to need to.
There is a
I'm
huge
going to point.
market. And
go ahead.
There is a big market, and to kind of answer that, I can't really give you a strong answer, but I can tell you I've taken lots of test scenarios and put them out there, and by basically using other sites, but kind of manipulating it to make it mimic what I'm doing in a way. You know, we've taken stuff that there's been no revenue on, use these type of situations, and you know, and
I got that. So here, let me. You are a premium member, so you have access to the premium curriculum. One thing I would like you to do is go study the total available market. You know, the market sizing module of the curriculum, and really think this point through. You don't have to answer this question right now, but you're going to have to put some sort of a financial model around market sizing. And as we go to your questions, you will see why that is important. So let's go through this. If you want to go through this slide, and then let's go to your questions, and I will explain to you exactly why that is important.
Okay. Well, okay. On the revenue model, basically, you can list for free. So you have a free element, but you pay a commission on parts sold. That's the only revenue model that's implemented at this point.
And that's fine. That's fine.
And it's fine. On the other side of it, we in this business are used to paying subscriptions, paying for services. By adding some added-on features, I feel like there's definitely a paid model, and actually have that in the works, but just have chose not to go there right now. But you know, have it mapped out. So
yeah, I think it's
there's
keeping things very simple right now is the way to go. So 5% commission on parts sold is just fine.
Correct.
Okay, so let's go to your questions. So your question about whether it's set up, whether it's sufficient to set up as an LLC, it's okay as long as you don't involve professional investors. If you involve professional investors, they are going to most often demand that you are set up as a C Corp. And there is a way to go from an LLC to a C Corp. So you could start out as an LLC, and over time, if necessary, you can go to a C Corp. So the structure, I think, is not really the real issue here. The reason I was asking you about a market sizing, what I would like to see you create is some sort of a financial model of a bottom-up TAM analysis, bottom-up total available market analysis, and you will find a training module, a lecture module in the premium lounge on the topic. I would like to understand how this business kind of scales. And that will tell us if this is a business that can attract professional investors or not, in case you want to attract professional investors. And that kind of drives your decision of how you want to set up the structure of the site of the company from a legal structure point of view.
Okay.
So in terms of hosting and all, be very simple right now. Rackspace has all sorts of tiered pricing structures. You can start at the very bottom of Rackspace and scale it up as your traffic increases. Basically, Rackspace is a very, very good hosting service provider, and as your traffic grows, you're going to need to grow it. And one recommendation, since you're doing an internet company, you should have a good site management infrastructure, as in you should have somebody managing the website who knows what he or she is doing in terms of technicalities of managing a site.
Correct. I have that.
You have that.
Well, I mean, it's through Clarion Technologies. I have virtual employees.
Okay. And you were asking, sorry, go ahead.
No, that's fine.
And you were asking about Freshdesk yesterday for customer support. If you're trying to put customer support on the, online customer support on the site, Freshdesk we are very comfortable with, because that is a 1 million by 1 million company, and they're looking very good.
Yes, I actually contacted them, but through email. A little bit frustrating on my side. There's no way to. If you're going to put something together, I think you need to be able to speak. There's no way to.
You need to be able to speak with Fresh. You have not been able to speak with Freshdesk. Is that what you're saying?
That is correct.
I'll connect you with the Freshdesk guys. That's not a problem. Now, hiring.
Another important thing coming up, yes, the site chat, build it or buy it. The communication within the site that's not deal specific, just outside chat. That seems to be. I'm not sure which way to go with that, because I don't have experience in that, and I'm still getting lots of different opinions.
Well, there's some things that you need to think through here and really study how exchanges like this work, because if you provide a lot of communication tools like this where people just can have free-flowing conversations and they can negotiate, they can still do that by picking up the phone and call. One question that any exchange business has to answer is are people going to take the transaction offline? And how do you prevent that?
The way I prevented that is, I think you do that one through building a genuine site that brings credibility to the user by the feedback that's listed.
Yes.
The other thing is you put some type of a cap so that the higher dollar items cap out before the expense gets too high, because nothing and nothing's nothing. I'd rather have a little than a lot. You also, there's some things that we're building as far as top sellers, top buyers, all the way down to region, states, and areas. So you play a little bit of a motion type deal to keep people there, to build up their rapport. You also, like I said, you aren't going to be able to have any feedback if the deal's done outside of it. So that's why I want to keep the cost I want to put the cost as low as I possibly can on the seller, and make the site as friendly as I can on the buyer, to encourage people to go through the site. And that's all you can do.
Yeah. So listen, I think the site chat question is, I think you can resolve that question after you talk to Freshdesk. You don't need to build it. There are umpteen chat technologies and tools out there. I think the question more is that what kind of a customer support infrastructure you need to put together to be able to manage this operation. And you need to spec that out, and you need to, evaluate technologies against that.
Correct.
And your question about hiring quality people within Bootstrap budget, what I would do, and if you were, I don't remember if you were at the private roundtable, not the one yesterday, but the one right before that, the week before that, last week's private roundtable, there was a company that I was working with on exactly this issue. You may want to go into the private lounge and look up the recording of that session. Basically, what I was advising them, and I advise you to do the same, is map out the tasks and the projects that need to be completed. And then you can come and discuss that task map with me, and basically we're going to have to identify what pieces can be outsourced, what pieces you can do with interns, what pieces you can do with Odesk types, freelance resources, and so on and so forth, and then really identify what is absolutely essential that you have to hire, and there's no other way of doing this without hiring people. That is the exercise you need to go through.
Okay, I'll definitely go back and watch that.
Okay, great. So this is very long as a question. You basically, it sounds like your question is about outside investment, yes?
Correct. And I'm not there. Well, you read the question. I just have tried to do what's in front of me and then try to think ahead and just try to be prepared.
There's nothing to do right now. So the only decision that is relevant at the moment, you are not ready for any outside investment. The only decision that is relevant is your earlier question about whether to set it up as an LLC or as a C corp. If you want to keep the option open of bringing in outside investors, I'd just be very, very clean and set the company up as a C corp and make sure that that the provisions of outside investment remain.
Okay.
But other than that, you are not ready for outside investment right now. So this is a question that you don't need to discuss at all. If you want to get yourself, up to speed on building knowledge about how the investment process works with outside investment and so forth, start working with both the bootstrapping module and the financing module in the premium curriculum, and get that knowledge under your belt. And as a result, you're going to have much more sophisticated understanding of the investment process. And I would say that's for the time being, just work on building the business.
Correct. And that's in a jest. That'll work.
Okay, great. So keep going and keep using the roundtables to come and work with us, and I look forward to for helping you move this forward.
Thank you very much.
You're very welcome. All right, so Kevin, you go on mute, and others, please unmute your line and come and tell us about what you're doing.
Hello everyone. I hope everybody can hear me.
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes. Thank you, Sramana, for this opportunity. I'm a doctor by profession. I'm a surgeon, and our idea is to create a healthcare market between a doctor and a patient. If you see, can I go to the next slide, please?
Yes.
If you see today, the patient is shopping for affordability and cost and quality healthcare. So we help patients access affordable and quality healthcare. Medical tourism provides an opportunity to reduce costs by as much as 94% of the total cost of the procedures in US. We aim to organize this and drive growth by creating an online marketplace for patients and healthcare service providers. Market size, the global medical tourism market size is about 100 billion US dollars in by 2011, and expected to grow at a CAGR of 9% between 2006 to 2012. India last year in 2010, the growth was 30%.
So, others, just a question here. You want to focus on the US medical tourism to India market. Is that what you're saying? Or all international international medical tourism coming into India?
No, it is a global market where it can be from US to India or US to the South American countries or South Asian countries. So that it is a global marketplace.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Next, can I go to the next? Next. Thank you. Industry is fragmented. There is no organized online player in this sector. Present ecosystem, the medical planners, travel abroad treatment agencies, and hospital groups help travelers identify destinations that provide medical tourism and select providers and make arrangements. So usually these are the middlemen who interact with the patient and the hospital and arrange for the travel.
Yeah.
Next slide, please. Our business model is that we intend to create a marketplace wherein patients upload their profile for free. So suppose a patient requires certain treatment, he uploads that particular profile and requests for that particular treatment. And in the website, his profile will be visible minus his email and contact number.
Okay.
Okay, and now there will be also hospitals who will upload and register and upload their profile for free. Now, if the hospital is interested in particular patient, now they will buy this lead of that particular patient, for which we will assign particular value for each lead that the patient is, depending on the value that patient brings into the hospital. For example, various surgeries can cost differently, and we will assign a particular lead value to the highest generating surgery. So the lead value will be different, and the hospitals and doctors will buy these patient leads on the market.
And what in terms of value for the patients? People don't just upload profiles, right? People are soliciting bids effectively. From the patient's point of view, their desire is to get the best care at the best price.
Yes. Yes. Please go ahead.
So my question is: have you thought through how the how the financial model, how the business model works? Because you have a slightly goal here. The patient wants the best care at the best price. The hospitals and doctors want to maximize revenues.
Yes. So actually, if you see from the patient's point of view, multiple hospitals and doctors can buy one particular lead. So if the one patient is there, so he will get multiple proposals from doctors and hospitals. So he has a choice. There is a competition among doctors and hospitals to provide the best possible option for the patient. So ultimately, once there is a communication between the doctor and hospital and the patient, he will have access to the choice, and he will have also access to quality and cost.
Okay, good. Yeah, perfect.
So sales and distribution develop patient data from online advertisement and SEO activity. Today you see that every patient goes on internet and searches for the health information. So this is a good opportunity for us to approach those patients and have them to register on our website. And also from the hospitals and doctors side, doctors also go on internet, and hospitals can be contacted either through direct contact or through conferences or emails or online ads. So we intend to develop these two databases with online advertisement or SEO activity or with the direct contact.
Okay.
Next slide, please. We aim to achieve 2,000 leads per day at the end of 5 years, with an average lead of $50, with an annual revenue of $320 million, with an 75% of margin.
And what is this based on?
Well, I would like to agree that the number of leads would be an approximation, depending seeing the market size. But the average value of the lead, if you see the average cost of a surgery which for the patient which comes into India is around 2 lakh rupees is what a patient spends, the minimum that the patient spends. And if we are saying that for that $250 is the lead, I mean that is a reasonable ask. And
no, I understand that. I think that part is fine, but I think the question that I was asking is, have you modeled what it would take to get to these numbers, or is this just a high level goal that 75% margin, where does that come from? It comes from the blue, or is it based on some sort of a financial model that you've already done?
No. There has been no financial modeling has been done. It is out of my intuition that.
So maybe the top line numbers are doable. The 75% margin to me has no basis at all, because you haven't done any analysis on whether it's possible. You don't know the operational details of this business. So 75% margin, I have no idea whether this business can do that kind of margin or not. And neither do you.
Okay.
Right?
Okay. I agree on that. I agree on that. And as a doctor, I need to work out on the financials. Yes. I intend to build a teams with members from technical and management background. Myself, I am a surgeon with 7 years experience in healthcare, and I am a medical entrepreneur as well. I have two previous companies, one in the field of telemedicine and one in the field of travel and tourism. I have been a member of Type for.
Hello? Uh-oh.
Yes, yes.
Sorry, we lost you
So,
for
I have had an experience of e-commerce startup, which I pitched to you in one of the events, and my numbers and my idea is based on that particular experience that I have bought in.
Okay.
Next slide, please. We are requesting for a seed fund to develop a e-commerce platform and build traction for future funding.
You're gonna have to do a lot of work before you even begin to qualify for any kind of funding. You're not ready for funding.
Well, I do agree. I do hear from you that nowadays the seed funding really occurs at a later stage, and nobody gets money with an idea. I do agree with that. But I mean, at this stage, would it be of reason to approach seed funding agencies with this idea?
No. There's no point. Nobody's going to fund an idea.
Okay.
You're going to have to work on it, get it to a certain point where there is some semblance of validation, a little bit of validation at least, before you can get funding. You're gonna need to do a lot of work. This is what you've shown me today. Nobody would fund that. You're gonna have to do a lot more work to at least put, and we can work with you to help you figure out what those pieces are that in place to qualify for funding. But there's a lot of work to do before you're going to qualify for any kind of funding.
But as an idea to create a marketplace,
I like the idea.
A doctor and a patient.
I like the idea.
Okay.
I like the idea. Go ahead.
Sorry. Yeah. So my challenges has been that I'm a doctor and I'm not I don't have a technical background. So I see the challenge in creating the website and a marketplace for this particular idea, and that's how do I address this?
You need to find either co-founders or a CTO who's going to do the technical piece of it, and you're gonna need to get a team of co-founders who would work with you, who can fill the gaps. And if you believe that this is going to require a lot of financing to scale, which it might, I haven't done the financial analysis. This could be something that will require a substantial amount of financing. In that case, you're going to have to build a team that can attract financing.
Okay. So, what kind of an amount would be required to build such a e-commerce platform?
I have no idea. You have to do the financial analysis. That's exactly what I pointed out. Is that you're making statements about numbers without. I mean, this slide, the financial summary slide, actually makes no sense.
Okay.
Because until you do some financial analysis to back this slide up, the slide has no bearing.
Okay.
But there are, it sounds like you have some understanding of business. So my best advice to you is go do the 1 million by 1 million premium curriculum and learn what building a business is all about. Okay, so why don't you go on mute? Let me take you guys through what the 1 million by 1 million premium program offers, and then you can ask questions. I'm going to open up my group chat, and and you can ask questions based on what you hear in the next segment. So
thank you.
You're welcome. So the first thing I want to actually point to all of you who are working on businesses is that we have a self-assessment. It's a set of nine questions or 9 areas in which we want you to assess yourselves. And for every single one of those areas, we have provided curriculum modules in the premium program. So if you feel like you're shaky on any of these issues, just go sign up for the 1 million by 1 million premium program and train yourself, educate yourself so that you're not flying blind. We don't want you to fly blind. You know, the kinds of questions I was just answering about, you know, going to investors with a very nebulous concept. Yeah, the concept, the idea at a very, very 30,000-foot level is actually good. I like the idea, and it looks like there is not a lot of competition in the field, and medical tourism is an interesting field. But the moment you put that idea through the methodology of 1 million by 1 million, you're going to realize that this company is not fundable as it stands. There are pieces that you need to put together, and the way I put it is that you need to put one foot in the other to get to the next level. And there are several steps you need to take before you are even remotely ready for funding. So that's a question that is part of the self-assessment. Are you planning to raise money? And if you're planning to raise money, are you in a fundable state? This is a question that you should ask yourself and not waste time banging on the doors of investors who are not going to fund you because you don't have your ducks lined up yet. So this is an important self-assessment that I would really recommend that you guys put yourselves through and put your businesses through in your journey towards potentially raising money, potentially doing other ways, applying other ways to make your business successful. But a self-assessment is in order for all of you. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is the premium program itself and the various resources we bring together as part of the 1 million by 1 million initiative. The first very basic set of resources are our book series and the blog series. The Entrepreneur Journeys book series give you role models, case studies, and some of the lessons from the trenches of very serious entrepreneurs. The blog is entirely free. So there's a ton of information on the blog that you can access completely for free and start building your knowledge of the startup business. The books are available on Amazon, Kindle, and Flipkart. There are 4 volumes of Entrepreneur Journeys. First, Entrepreneur Journeys Volume 1, Bootstrapping, Weapon of Mass Reconstruction, Positioning, How to Test, Validate, and Bring Your Idea to Market, and Innovation Need of the Hour. And people in India, you can access the books through Flipkart. The blog is at sramanamitra.com. And then on every Thursday, religiously, we are here with these strategy roundtables. These are free roundtables where you can come and talk to me and get feedback on your business. We are in this fall, we're going to hit our 100th. In October, I think we're going to hit our 100th roundtable. So you have a lot of experience doing these roundtables for almost 3 years. We started in the fall of 2008, and we've had numerous people go through these programs, and I've personally coached hundreds of entrepreneurs. So we have a lot of experience of seeing the patterns of what kinds of questions come up, what kind of mistakes people are making. And based on that, we've created the premium curriculum. And the premium program gives you extensive methodology guidance in doing lean, capital efficient, bootstrapped entrepreneurship. And we have a curriculum that is based on video lectures and case studies that teach you that methodology. And that's all that methodology, curriculum, all that, and other services, like we do a lot of business development work, which I call connecting the dots. So we connect the dots for people to get introduced to potential customers, potential channel partners. We've done a lot of channel deals. Through our introductions, our entrepreneurs have gotten in front of real heavyweight, heavy-duty people like the CIO of Intel, the CIO of VMware. Now, I can tell you from my experience as an entrepreneur, these are incredibly difficult meetings to get. But because of the network we have, we can get you in front of very, very senior people, very high-powered people, top decision makers. Then we have private versions of these kinds of roundtables that are members only, premium members only. And through that, we provide the strategy consulting, the coaching, the mentoring, and we also help with financing. One of our companies just has gone through, I just got an email from the investors who have actually put in the money. They're in the closing process, and I can't say who it is right now because I haven't yet got the notification whether they have actually got the money in the bank, and we generally do not disclose financing rounds until that happens. But this is a company that I introduced to something like 15 investors, and they got 3 term sheets. We did a lot of work on them to get their business to a stage where they were investment worthy and all the ducks were lined up. All the pieces that investors base their decisions on were lined up. By the time they went to investors, they were camera ready. And they got 3 term sheets. The first term sheet was from the investor that they wanted to work with, but the valuation was relatively low. And they came back to me and showed me the term sheet. I gave them a bunch of feedback on exactly where the negotiating opportunities were. And because they had competition, they were able to create competition in the deal. They were able to get the same investor to increase the valuation, and then now they're in the closing process. And the investor just emailed me this morning saying that we have invested in the company. Let's chat. So this is just an example of the kinds of things that we do in 1 million by 1 million. The site is at 1m1m.sramanamitra.com. Very extensive network. We have a lot of highly credible relationships, so that when you go into an investor, whether it's a strategic investor or a venture investor or an angel investor or even incubation kind of investment opportunities, we are working with a lot of incubators right now. And some of these incubators are also giving out investment. We have one incubator that we're working with that invests up between $100,000 to $400,000 per company. There's another incubator we are working with, that's a new incubator coming on, that is going to give $100,000 investments per company to about 10 companies. That's a program that we are developing with them. So there's a lot of incubator funds also available that we are deeply connected to. So we can connect you to different types of financial opportunities, financing opportunities, and we come with a lot of credibility and branding. So that is definitely part of the value proposition of 1 million by 1 million. So there is if you go to the 1 million by 1 million site, on the top right corner, there's a link for the premium program, and there's a FAQ. The premium program link gets you to this page, what to expect from the premium program and the frequently asked questions. By all means, study those 2 pages in detail, because we have tried to capture a lot of the questions that we are getting from you guys, to answer those questions up front, and then come back and ask, email me or email us. Irina is in the room. I saw her. She's answering a lot of questions about the premium program as well. So you can, get a good feel for what the service is all about. 1 million by 1 million program is all about. Remember, the methodology is lean, capital efficient, bootstrap startups. We don't like to work with companies who come to us with a very large financing requirement out of the gate. So don't come and tell us we need to raise $10 million out of the gate, and we have done no work. We just have got like 5 PowerPoint slides. This is not a viable situation. Now, if you've built up to about, 500,000 or $1 million in revenue, and you would want to raise $10 million, that is doable. but you cannot come with 5 slides and tell me that you need to raise $10 million. That is not a viable scenario. And we don't, we don't like to give you false expectations or set false expectations. We will tell you as it is. We will try to set your expectations to as realistic a benchmark as possible so that you don't bang around investors' doors, get rejected. 99% of the deals that go out to raise money get rejected. So you really do need to manage this process properly and do have your ducks lined up to have success. So that's kind of my overview of the program. Now, as far as the curriculum is concerned, you have video lectures that are my lectures that synthesize the methodology, but we've also provided you with over 400 case studies, and these are my conversations, intense, hour-long conversations with thought leaders, with successful entrepreneurs who have sat down with me and shared their lessons and their advice to you in these case studies. And all that is available to you in the curriculum in a very, very well synthesized format. So if you are really looking for a curriculum and a platform with which you can substantially enhance your knowledge and your understanding of the startup business and how to avoid mistakes, how to adopt strategies that have worked for other successful people, this is the best curriculum out there for doing technology or technology-enabled services or internet types of businesses, for practicing a lean, capital-efficient bootstrap methodology, and for working on the real early stage of your business building process. And you have, by the way, you have a core module and you have an elective module. The core curriculum has 7 modules. That's bootstrapping, positioning, market sizing, customer validation, financing, customer acquisition, and team building. The elective modules align with the different trends of our industry where we see activity and opportunity these days. And that's Web 3.0 and e-commerce, cloud computing and business solutions, outsourcing and consulting, mobile and social apps, healthcare, IT, online education, and so forth. In terms of, this is an example, by the way, what you have on your screen right now is an example of a deal that we did for 2 of our entrepreneurs who are going through the sales channel of Persistent Systems, which is a partner of 1 Million by 1 Million. Now, Persistent has a large group of major account salespeople, 30 to 50 major account salespeople in the United States, and they are selling the products of these 2 1 Million by 1 Million entrepreneurs. It gives our entrepreneurs leverage. Basically, building a sales channel with 30 to 50 major account salespeople is very expensive, but if you can go through somebody else's channel, that becomes affordable, even if you have to share the revenues. What you have in your screen right now is an article that I wrote about one of our companies, Orangescape, positioning them and giving them visibility about their value proposition, which plugs a gap in Google's enterprise solution, a real gaping hole in Google's App Engine product. So this is a very very specific way this is part of my syndicated column, and I am able to give people, our entrepreneurs, a lot of exposure because of all the syndicated columns and the PR leverage that we have in the program as well. So that's kind of what I have to say to you about the premium program. We do work, as I say, we do work with a lot of incubators, and if you are an incubator who's evaluating this program, we have a lot of experience actually of working with incubators, and we can share with you various different models that are working and that we are working with incubators in. Mad Incubator is one of them in Malaysia, but there are a bunch of corporate incubators that we are working with right now, as well as regular incubators in the United States, in India, and so on and so forth. So the work with incubators is a significant part of our journey, and that's pretty much it. So in terms of upcoming free public roundtables, we have one on August 4th, one on August 11th, and one on August 25th. August 18th, we have, actually Maureen is off, so we're going to take a break on August 18th, but the other 3 weeks, other 3 Thursdays in August, we're here. And then for those of you who are in the private program, almost every week we are having private roundtables as well. So we've had 2 private roundtables the last 2 weeks. We have one coming up in the next 2 weeks. We have private roundtables as well. So if you're looking for a slot to come discuss with me, contact Maureen and get yourself scheduled in either a private roundtable or a public roundtable, whatever suits your desire. The advantage of the private roundtables is it is private, and you don't, the recordings are not available publicly, and you're not exposed to 500 views of the recording. But the advantage of the public roundtables is that you get a lot of publicity out of it. So there's a syndicated column that goes up right after each public roundtable, and that goes out to a lot of different players, including Read, Write, Web, Business Insider, and so on and so forth, which are very large readership publications, and that's an opportunity that we offer to the people who are presenting at the public roundtables. All right, so I'm going to open up my public chat for questions, and while you are typing in your questions in the public chat, let me also tell you about Vision India 2020, my 5th book, which is essentially my notebook. For 16 years, I've been making notes on business opportunities that have to do with India, whether it's using India as a market, whether it's using India as a back end, production back end, whatever it is, and across various different segments. It's technology-enabled services, education, healthcare, infrastructure, lifestyle businesses, entertainment, film, everything is included in this $45 billion business ideas that I have developed and decided to publish, because in my lifetime, I will be able to do 1 million by 1 million, potentially as a $1 billion company. But I don't think I will have time to build another $45 billion companies. So I'm looking for entrepreneurs who want to take these ideas and more of them, execute on them, whatever you want to do with these ideas, they're for you to implement and to execute on. Take these ideas and think them, and we have a module in 1 million by 1 million where we actually work with entrepreneurs who want to implement a Vision India 2020 idea as well. So it is a futuristic retrospective. It's written as if we're sitting in 2020 looking back on implementing these ideas. So it's in a sense, it's business fiction, like science fiction. This is probably the first business fiction book ever written. It's a really fun book, very easy to read. And again, it's available from Amazon, Kindle, and in India from Flipkart. So feel free to take advantage of these ideas. And again, so folks, if you have questions, use the group chat. And meanwhile, I want to thank our various partners all over the world, media partners like Read, Write, Web, and Your Story, Microsoft BizSpark, the various alumni associations we work with, including my alumni association, the Association of MIT Alumni, and the MIT Club of Northern California. We're working with the Startup America Partnership, various incubators like MAD and Indian Angel Network, various Thai chapters, Chennai, Mumbai, Delhi, and so forth, Persistent Systems, and other corporate partners. So thank you all for making these programs possible. And also, I want to bring to your attention the 1 million by 1 million affiliate program. If you are, let's say, an entrepreneurship tech or business blogger, or if you're, if you do entrepreneurship coaching, or if you have a media company that's focused on entrepreneurship, or if you have a service that's focused on entrepreneurship, and you want to figure out a business model around it, if you want to monetize your audience, we have an affiliate program. And we offer 10% affiliate commission to our affiliate partners. So for every entrepreneur that you bring into the 1 million premium program, we pay 10% in affiliate fees. So please feel free to become an affiliate partner of 1 million by 1 million and take advantage of the affiliate program as well. And finally, our technology partner is VView, and they've been a great partner. We love this technology, and it's been extremely effective to to be able to do a very rich media experience using their platform. So we thank VView as well, and especially Bharati, who works with us on these sessions every week. So here's a question. Adarsh is asking, do incubators incubate ideas or only after some revenue? No, you don't necessarily have to have revenue to be part of an incubator. You do need to have some sort of a well thought through concept with which to apply for incubator funding, or incubator involvement, but incubators don't necessarily need revenue. Investors don't necessarily need revenue either, by the way, Adarsh, but there's a systematic process of what you need to present to incubators, and what you have presented today is extremely vague and nebulous. It will qualify for neither incubators nor investors. You're very welcome, Bharati. So somebody's asking, so what stage do incubators come in? Can you clarify your question? What is, yeah, I'm not sure I understand the question. Oh, okay. So Adarsh, I've answered your questions already. Any other question? By the way, folks, we do have a Facebook page, and there's a poll waiting for you on the Facebook page. Let me actually bring that up so you can go and vote for your favorite company from today's session. No, that is not it. Here we go. Here's the Facebook poll at the 1M1M Facebook page. You can vote for whichever is your favorite company from today's presentations, and you can also get your friends to vote for you if you are one of the companies featured in the poll. And if there are no other questions, I'm going to close the room. And so Vikrant, I have a comment for you, by the way. I know the Glam Media guys extremely well. So if you're looking for introductions into this, into this world, I'll be very happy to help you. Just one caveat to everybody who, there's a bunch of dots I connect for people, but I just want to, caveat that by saying that all that is for our premium members only. For the people who are leveraging the 1 million by 1 million program for free, the roundtables and these mentoring sessions are the only things that we offer for free. Beyond this, all the other services that we talked about are part of the membership program. There's another person that I'm thinking about, Vikrant. I know the people who produced Top Chef. These are people from the television industry. These may be people that you may want to connect with, and whether it's as strategic investors or as advisory board members, there may be ways of connecting with them and doing things with them. That's another group that I would suggest you connect with. Anybody else? Any other questions or comments? Adarsh is asking, so if I register, you will help me come to that level. Most certainly we will. We will help you come to that, not only that level, and we'll help you get to much beyond that level. We will continue to work with you even after you raise financing. We will continue to work with you. So our relationship with you does not end with you getting financed or you getting to an incubator. We continue to work with you. We will continue connecting dots. We will continue, having you leverage our resources, whether it's these sessions, mentoring sessions, or consulting sessions, or using our curriculum. At different points of your journey, you're going to be using different parts of the curriculum. And all of that, or everything, is part of the program. All the, we do a lot of, as I said, we do a lot of work in helping connect the dots with channel partners, customers, all sorts of things. So we're going to, all of that is available to you on an ongoing basis. As long as you are renewing your membership and continuing to be a member of the program, you can continue to use the program for as long as you want to. We will help you figure out strategies of how to find co-founders. Yes, absolutely. Irina is actually bringing up an interesting point in the group chat. Even if you do not have an idea, you're interested in becoming an entrepreneur, you do not have an idea yet, we actually recommend a job. Let's say you have actually a job and you have a paycheck and you don't want to give any of that up. We actually recommend that you don't give any of that up. We want you to follow the program, especially the curriculum. We want you to budget 50 to 60 hours, whether that's over a 2-month period or a 6-month period. We want you to go through the curriculum and really understand what entrepreneurship is all about and how to put one foot before the other. And you can keep your job during that period, whether it's a 2-month, 3-month, 6-month period. Keep your job, but get yourself ready with the knowledge that you need to become an entrepreneur and to jump in. And as you go through that process, we also do a lot of trend spotting work and pointing you and shepherding you towards trends so you can find your idea, the ideas that you're going to work on, and put in practice the validation methodology that we teach you in the program as well before you actually quit your job. Because in a way, you have to pay the bills. So having a job and having the bills paid by a paycheck while you're getting yourself ready to become an entrepreneur and jump in with both feet is a very good strategy. And yes, what Irina is saying again is very true, is this is like a gym membership. You become a member, but if you just become a member, we can't help you. You have to put in the work. A gym cannot help you lose weight or get in shape unless you actually put in the work and use the membership. It's exactly the same philosophy here. We make available a lot of resources, but you have to do the work. We can shepherd you, we can bring you together with all the resources, connect the dots, point you to the right places, connect you with the right people, but you have to do. Anybody else? Any other questions? All right, so before we close the room, I'd like to request all of you to also help us, help the 1 million by 1 million program get the word out there. So all of you who have been in the session today, if you can use your Twitter and your Facebook channels and your friends who are also potentially aspiring entrepreneurs, let them know about this resource that we are making available so that they can use the resource. Right now, the effectiveness of 1 million by 1 million is limited by our ability to gain more visibility and making more people aware that this enormously rich set of resources are available. So if you can help us address that and get the word out and make people aware of these resources, that would help us tremendously. Adarsh is saying true doctors are business blind. That's a funny comment. Oh, we've seen some great medical entrepreneurs, great doctor entrepreneurs. There's no question about it. Devi Shetty and a variety of doctors who have become very successful entrepreneurs. All right. So looks like we are done for the day, and we'll see you next week at the next roundtable, and that would be August 4th. And please feel free to, those of you in the premium program, we have also a private roundtable next Wednesday. So let's work on various businesses, and the 1 million by 1 million goal, by the way, will only be successful if you guys become successful entrepreneurs. So the only way we are going to be successful in meeting our goal by 2020 is by you meeting your goal of becoming a successful entrepreneur. So we have to work together. Cheers. Bye, everybody. That's all for today.